You ready, Jay? Good morning, everybody. Joe Ciaccio here. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend as always. Today, I want to go over some things that agents have been having some issues in the last probably forever. Yet probably within the last couple of weeks has become more and more relevant that I need to speak about this here for you guys. Because what's happening is that you're visiting a client, you're making a presentation, and they're giving you some type of rejection, rebuttal, or they just say they want to think about it. I feel that when you're in a home with a client, what a lot of agents are doing is they're trying to rush the process to try to get to the next appointment, or they're trying to rush the process because they want to make a sale. So let's talk about that. Rushing is the worst thing you can do. This is why it's so important to know your products, know rebuttals, have your cheat sheets at your fingertips. So when a client says something to you, you can very easily look through your notes or go through your little memory bank and pull out the answer you need to give him. What I have seen, and basically what I've heard recently, is the agents who are not making the sales when they're going into a home to speak to somebody, they're coming across a little too aggressive. They're not using voice inflection to where they're emphasizing certain words. Their eyes are not looking around to where they should be, and makes the clients feel uneasy. And most likely you're coming across with what we call is commission breath because you have not made any sales. So what I'm going to recommend you guys to do is to kind of tap the brakes when you go into a house. You've got to give yourself enough time when you're in a home. Even if you have an appointment that you have to go to, there's no surefire way for you to know that the appointment you're going to go to is going to be there, is going to need it, is going to want it, is going to want to pay what you have to offer them. So remember, a bird in hand is worth more than two in the bush. Work with the person that you're speaking with. Talk to them a little slower. Choose your words that you come across with. Listen to them in their entirety. Think of an answer. Come back. When they're saying something to you, write down some notes. All these things here are going to have that person have more confidence in you. The thing about it is, we have no idea who was in the client's house before you. You don't know if it was Quick Draw McGraw, if the guy was a slick Willie talker, if the guy told him he was going to give them this and they got the policy and they got that. You don't know. So with that being said that you don't know, you need to kind of ask, have you had a policy before? Yes or no. If they say yes, say fantastic. Say, do you still have that policy? No, I don't. May I ask why you don't have it? And usually they're going to sit and tell you either they had a financial hardship, or the agent didn't tell them the truth, or there was a waiting period that they weren't aware of, the agent misled them. You're going to hear all of these different things. So what your job is to do is write down all of those things from that one client and go home that night and learn rebuttals that when the client says that stuff, you know what to say, especially if you're a new agent. When I first started, I had no damn idea what a rebuttal was or overcoming an objection. I had zero idea. No, I had maybe 5% of an idea. Yet I knew some things to say, yet I was not smooth enough to come across and kind of dazzle them with my knowledge and my brilliance to where they felt confident in what I was saying. So no matter how long you've been in the business, how long you just started, there's a learning curve, a learning process that everybody has to go through to learn how to speak with a client. I said with a client, not to a client. Because what you don't realize is that if you're not having a conversation with that person, you're not listening to them and answering the questions that they want to have answered, what you're doing is that you're checking the box that they're going to sit and say, I don't like this guy. I don't like how she's speaking. She's coming across a little too aggressive. She wants to go over the pricing already. She hasn't even told me what it's about or how the program works. I would love to have the ability to know exactly who was there before. I would like to know the real reason why they canceled it. Yet, all you can do is try to find out. What I've learned over the years is that when you take your time with somebody, let them feel comfortable with you. That's the purpose of the warm-up. Let them feel comfortable that the person they're speaking with is there not to sell something to them. You're there to help them. You're there to suggest. You're there to guide them. Your goal is not to sell. Indirectly, when you do things the correct way by offering value, going over how the program works, you're getting them a little bit closer to you. They're all going to tell you they can't afford much. They're all going to tell you that their budget is very tight. They're all going to tell you, I don't remember sending this card in. Yet some are going to say, yes, I do remember it. Yes, I want the information. And those people can also sit and tell you, no, I can't afford it because of maybe the way you came across. Now, when I'm speaking with a client, usually I'm opposite of them. They got a couch here and they're sitting on the couch. I may sit on the left or the right of the couch in a little single chair to get to know them. I don't want to sit next to them right at the beginning because to me that's being a little too aggressive. Okay? To me, I'd rather sit right next to you, touch you all the time and say this is what you got to have and sign over here. You got to be cool. Sit next to them, sit across from them. When you've given them the information and they feel comfortable, usually they're going to ask you, how much does this cost? I don't bring my book in the house. I bring nothing in the house with me other than a lead if it's an appointment or a stack of leads if I'm door knocking at a house. When they get to the point to where they want to know the price, I say, hold on one second, please. I need your permission to please go to my car to get my book and bring it in. Is that all right? You're letting them feel that they're in control. You're going to do it no matter what. Yeah, you're letting them feel that you're in control. That they're in control. They're giving you permission to go outside. What we're doing is that we are showing, first of all, respect. And it's a psychological game we're playing to where they feel their house, their rules, you're going to do as I say. When I go to my car and I bring my book back in, that's when I ask, may I sit next to you so I can go over everything we just discussed. I have never, ever had a person tell me no. Never. I've even sit next to men, women, young folks, real old people. I sit right next to them. Now, since I'm left-handed, I'd much rather have the person on this side of me, on my right side, because I'm going to turn my book sideways to where I can be pointing and they can be looking. The way you position yourself when you come in, the way you speak with a client, when you then reposition yourself and sit next to them, it's a slow process. You're kind of getting to know that person. It's kind of like a guy going out on a date, walks up to the front door and wants to start kissing on her. It's just not going to work, okay? You got to be nice. You got to be able to speak. You got to let her like you. She's got to want to kiss you. That's the same thing we got to do here. You have to have them where they want to hear the information and they want to buy from you. And it's a slow process. So maybe you say, well, I make my appointments every 45 minutes and, I got to get in and get out. Okay? Everybody has their own style of what they're doing. Some agents go through the process a lot quicker than me. Some agents go through it a lot slower. To me, you got to find that comfortable groove where you feel comfortable knocking on the door, walking in, and going through the process. Cannot shortcut either. You can't start bouncing around. For you new agents, I'm going to recommend you to have a list of how you've got to do everything, such as the door knock, the hello, where may I sit, where would you like for me to sit, the warm up, a little bit of questions, the transition into the presentation, questions and answers, going over everything with them, showing them the different ideas and different programs that are available. They say, yes, I want that one there. Next step is, can I have your driver's license? I need to get some personal information from you. Bring out your iPad or a paper application and write your application out. Submit it through email or submit it through an e-app. Grab the application and go. Then you've got the thank you very much. Then you got the cool down. Then you've got the referrals. Okay, all these things here, you've got to write all this stuff down to where you start remembering. I went out golfing Thursday on a golf charity event, playing with 4 guys, and one guy was a very, very good golfer. He had his PGA card. And the guy was just the smoothest guy swinging that club. And you look at him and you go, damn, why can't I be like this guy here? He's just so smooth. His follow through, the contact of that ball is crisp. And I'm looking at him. He said, Joe, why don't you do this with your hand, put the ball a little bit back, and just swing through. Not every ball went great, but it started to do better. So this is what I'm saying to you guys. I golfed and learned a little bit better from a guy better than me. Now, the only way for me to get better at golf, or us to get better at final expense presentations, is to go to the driving range and practice, and to be at home and practice, or when you're driving to appointments, practicing on how you make your delivery, how you come across. Throw yourself some curveballs. When you're going through a presentation and they sit and say, oh, I don't think I'm going to be able to afford this here. What do you say? What do you say when they say, I can't afford it when you're going through a presentation? My thought right now, bam, would be, ma'am, I will find a program that is comfortable for you, and then I'm going to keep on going. You can't sit and ignore it. You don't want to go into no damn 400-mile detail about, well, all our plans are cheap and don't worry about it and all that stuff there. People have been BS so many times. People have been lied to so many times, not just by insurance agents, by anybody that they deal with. Anybody that comes to their house has got one motive, one goal in mind. Ours as well is to make a sale. The one that walks out with the sale is the one that was a little bit nicer, spoke a little bit softer, did proper voice inflection to get their attention, maybe tapped them on the arm or tapped them on the leg to get their attention, eye contact, and it has to do with timing. People send cards in, got no idea what it's about. No, they just go out a year and a half, 2 years later to those same people that I went to see, and they said, I want to think about it, it's not the right day, blah, blah, blah. Could have been my presentation. Could have been whatever I didn't do right. Agent said, Joe, you're not going to believe it. He bought a policy for $10,000, and I see your notes here on how he didn't want anything. So you look at yourself and you go, damn, what did I do wrong? But don't get mad at yourself because you may have done nothing wrong. What happens is that sometimes people just don't buy because they're not ready to. You show them all the value, all this, the cheap price. Sometimes it's hard for people to get the money out of their pocket, okay, and give it to you. It's hard sometimes. Somebody can go there later and get it done. This is why when you have an old lead, you don't throw it away. The only leads that I throw away is when I go to a house and the person's either passed away or they moved out of town and I tried to get a hold of them and I couldn't get a hold of them, or they told me no, they don't want anything. Depending on their tone, I may keep it and maybe call them in 3-4 months. Usually, what I try to do is just to be pleasantly aggressive in the house, ask open-ended questions to get them to speak with you, because as I said a second ago, when I ask me, I go outside, the more questions you ask them and the more they're speaking, the more comfortable they're getting with you, because you're not trying to control the conversation and shove a plan down their throat. You're asking questions, they're answering. Who are you going to put as your beneficiary? Your son, what's his name? Anthony, write it down. Your daughter, Marie, write it down. 50-50, yes I will. What's your date of birth? 1/1/1940. Forget trying to remember it. 01/01/1940. You a smoker? Non-smoker. And most of them tell you I'm a non-drinker. Non-drinker. Write it down to where they feel. I feel better when I'm speaking with you and you're writing stuff down, because in my mind, you're paying attention to what I'm saying. The other guy may not have done that. Okay? So, I'm going to wrap it up. Learn the better way to speak. Listen to how you speak. Please record yourself. Record how you sound. So many agents say, Joe, I forgot. Joe, they give me excuses. I am telling you, when you listen to you speak with someone, you're going to be able to see where you personally need help at on what the person told to you and how you answered it. How you made your presentation, how you made your transitions from point 1 to 2 to 3. You're going to hear how you say which plan works best for you. You're going to hear either hear them say, I want that one, or they're going to give you some rebuttal or some rejection. Then you got to listen to hear what you say. It's a hard process, yet to me it's a simple process the more you do it. I'd recommend you guys to buy old leads. I don't care if they're 3-4 years old. I don't care how old they are. There's no need for you to go out and buy a brand new lead. I had an agent, came to work with us, been in the business for maybe a year, really didn't do it full time. He told Heather, I want brand new leads. That's what I want, brand new leads. And he was sitting in Heather's office, and I'm in there listening. And the reason he wanted brand new leads was because he felt a fresh lead was going to give him the edge on making a sale. It is sometimes. Usually it's how we speak and our delivery. So I told him, I said, instead of you buying leads, brand new leads, because you have never bought a lead before, he was trained to go out and work referrals only, family, friends, and neighbors. I said, I want you to go to the website and buy some age leads. I got him leads for $1. These are leads that are over 3 years old. $3. $1. He bought 30 of them. How do you remember certain things? I just remember. 30 leads. He called me about a week later and said, Joe, man, it's just not what I thought it would be. The people wanted to think about it. Some people weren't home. One lady slammed the door in my face. Who are you? Why didn't you call me? I do appointments only. He got beat up. He got beat up, but his cost was $30. $30. Not at the time, leads were 30 times 20, $600. Plus he had to buy the rest of them that came in. So even if you are a good agent and you've got a great closing percentage, I'm always going to recommend you to filter in some of your old age leads. Go to the Equita website and buy some other age leads agents worked in your area. Incorporate those all together and work them all as if they're brand new and you just got them. The more people you stay in front of, the more practice you get, the better you're going to get at making more presentations sound better and the more closes. It's just like golfing. The more times you go to the golfing range, the more you do drives, pitches, fairway shots, all of those things there, it's going to be better when you're out on the course playing with your friends. So with that said, guys, appreciate your hard work. You need anything, give us a call. Jay's here for you for contracting. Sierra's here for you if you need any help walking through the back office. And Heather's here for you to give you a pep talk and get you leads and get you set up. And I'm here to help you guys out with underwriting. Make it a great day. Hit them hard. We love you. We appreciate you. Be safe, guys. Bye-bye.